serial killers who are betrayed by their own words.
Robert Durst. On January 31st, 1982, Kathleen McCormick disappeared after an argument with her husband, Robert Durst, a wealthy real estate heir. He told police he dropped her off at a nearby station the next morning. She was never seen again, and no charges were filed. Years later, on December 24th, 2000, Robert's close friend was found shot in the back of the head in her Los Angeles home. Police believed she knew the truth about his missing wife. Robert was questioned, but again, not arrested. Not long after, he hid in a small Texas town under a fake name. On September 30th, 2001, his neighbor was killed, dismembered, and dumped in the water. Durst admitted to the killing, but testified it was self-defense. The jury believed him, and he was acquitted. For years...
Wait. Hold up. All right, bro. Hold up. So you're telling me this guy right here. So, all right, bro. You're telling me that Robert's wife, she was killed. All right, and then so there's no like speculation around, right? And then Robert's best friend dies. You still have no clue. And then you're telling me, as soon as he moved to Texas, you're telling me that his neighbor dies. Like, don't you see the dots, don't you see the dots connecting, bro? It's bro, you should obviously
and no charges were filed. Years later, on December 24th, 2000,
now,
Robert's
let me know it's another person related to him, bro, and the police are actually
close friend was found shot in the back of the head in her, but again, on September 30th, 2000, but testified it was self-defense. The jury believed him, and he was acquitted. For years, his wealth, lawyers, and luck protected him. That changed in 2014 when he agreed to appear in a true crime documentary. During one interview, he stepped into the bathroom unaware his microphone was still on and whispered, "What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course." On March 14th.
How do you live with that, bro? Like, I would admit it, bro. I deserve it, bro. But you hold that on with that smug ass look in your face, and you just admit that out loud, bro.
On and whispered, "What the hell did I do? Killed them all, of course." On March 14th, 2015, he was arrested, the night before the final episode aired. In 2021, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. On January 10th, 2022, Robert Durst died behind bars, ending the case of a man who avoided justice for decades until his own words betrayed him. David Berkowitz, son of Sam. On July 29th, 1976, New York City was gripped by fear as a mysterious killer began shooting young adults and couples in parked cars late at night.
Damn.
His name was David Berkowitz, also known as the infamous...
I can tell it, bro. Your ass has no hope in life. Now it's
son of Sam. From July 1976 to July 1977, he carried out each attack with a .44 caliber revolver, killing 6 people and wounding at least 7 others, filling the streets with panic. People were terrified to sit in cars, walk at night, or even leave their homes alone, as the city waited nervously for his next move. What made him even more chilling was his obsession with mocking the police and the media. He sent letters claiming he was controlled by a demon-possessed dog named Sam, a story he later admitted was fabricated and made him earn the nickname Son of Sam. The media unintentionally became part of the story by publishing his letters, cryptic clues, and taunting messages. Newspapers spread fear across the city and helped alert the public that kept pressure on the investigation.
Bro, yeah,
his ability to manipulate the...
Yeah, but like, why are you like mocking everyone? Like, why are you mocking like the civilians and stuff? Like, you know they're gonna get together. You're obviously gonna get caught.
Public made him feel both terrified and entertained by the attention he received. Even small actions, like people reporting suspicious cars or tips after seeing news reports, played a role in tracking him. On August 10th, 1977, police traced a parking ticket issued near the scene of the final shooting to Berkowitz's car, leading directly to his arrest. Berkowitz confessed, claiming dark forces influenced him, though many believe he simply craved attention and control. Even today, documentary leading directly police traced a parking ticket issued near the scene of the final shooting to Berkowitz's car, leading directly to his arrest. Berkowitz confessed, claiming dark forces influenced him, though many believe he simply craved attention and control. Even today, documentaries and prison interviews reveal how he manipulated fear, the media, and the city itself showing why the Son of Sam case remains one of the most notorious and haunting crimes in U.S. history. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. On May 25, 1978, Ted Kaczynski, also known as the Unabomber, began to turn his intelligence into something deadly as he began a nationwide bombing campaign targeting airlines, universities, and individuals he believed symbolized modern technology and industrial society. He carried out bombings intermittently over nearly 2 decades between 1978 and 1995. He created homemade bombs and disguised them in ordinary objects like books, wooden boxes, and mailed packages, which killed 3 people and injured 23 others. Many of his bombs were designed to detonate when opened, but some only partially exploded or caused other types of harm, which made them very dangerous and hard to predict. He spent years hiding in a Montana cabin, far from society and modern technology. He survived on simple food, lived without electricity or running water, and spent much of his time planning his attacks. In 1995, the FBI convinced the New York Times and the Washington Post to publish and publicize a manifesto he wrote, titled Industrial Society and Its Future. The 35,000-word essay explained his hatred of industrial society and modern technology.
Wait, what does that mean? Wait, alright, y'all look at me as like kid, but like I'm in high school, I still have no reason. Like I have no idea what the heck industrial revolution is.
Later, his brother recognized the writing style as Ted's and realized he could be the Unabomber.
His brother? Your brother didn't know about this? I mean, that's not crazy, but like, dang, bro, getting betrayed by your own brother.
To the FBI, helping them identify and track him. On April 3, 1996, Ted Kaczynski was arrested in his Montana cabin. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Khalil Wheeler Weaver. On August 31, 2016, in Orange, New Jersey, Khalil Wheeler Weaver used social media dating apps to contact women and arrange meetings. Over just 3 months, he attacked and murdered at least 3 women and assaulted another. He often dumped victim bodies in vacant homes after the attacks. Once alone, he would strangle them and sometimes set their bodies on fire to cover his tracks. But he made a huge mistake by relying on social media to connect bodies on fire after the attacks. 3 contact women and arrange meetings.
Dang, bro, he could get home. Oh, wait, what? Wait.
Khalil Wheeler Weaver. On August 31, 2016, in Orange, New Jersey, Khalil Wheeler Weaver used social media dating apps to contact women and arrange meetings.
Shoot,
over just 3 months.
I mean, he does kind of look fine enough. I'm not on the game. I'm not on the game shit, bro. My fault, bro.
He attacked and murdered at least 3 women and assaulted another. He often dumped victims' bodies in vacant homes after the attacks. Once alone, he would strangle them and sometimes set their bodies on fire to cover his tracks. But he made a huge mistake by relying on social media to connect with his victims. He often used the same online accounts to contact different women, which helped investigators connect the attacks. The crimes followed a similar pattern each time, showing that he planned what he was doing. One woman survived her attack and later explained how he restrained her, which became important evidence. After another young woman disappeared, her family noticed the activity on her accounts. They created a fake profile to communicate with him. He thought this was another easy victim, and he agreed to meet. But this time the police were waiting, and he was arrested. The case shocked everyone. Wheeler Weaver used social media to find his victims, and his own overconfidence led to his capture. Today, he is
same account, bro. Like, what's wrong with you, bro?
Serving 160 years in prison for his crimes. Keith Jesperson, the Happy Face Killer. On January 21st, 1990.
Happy Face Killer? So while he was killing spoons, he was just happy.
A long-haul truck driver began traveling across multiple states. But he wasn't just doing his job. He targeted women he met along his routes and killed them. His name was Keith Jesperson, who killed at least 8 women, though he claimed more, and his method was chillingly consistent as he strangled his victims and left their bodies in remote locations, which made them hard to find. After news reports suggested innocent people were arrested and blamed for one of his killings, he began to send anonymous letters to the media and authorities. The letters confessed to murders and details only the killer would know, and he often signed them with a smiley face, which later earned him the nickname the Happy Face Killer. Some newspapers published parts of the letters, which fueled public fear and media attention. The attention and sense of recognition he gained from these crimes were his main motives for writing. But the letters alone didn't catch him. Over the next few years, he still continued killing and sending letters until he committed his last known murder in early 1995. His downfall came shortly after he wrote a confession letter to his brother, admitting to multiple killings. The brother turned the letter over to police, and Jesperson eventually surrendered himself to authorities. Investigators were able to link him to the letters through handwriting analysis, the crime details he had included, and some forensic evidence later confirmed his involvement in multiple murders. On April 14, 1995, he was arrested and received life sentences without the possibility of parole. Even after being imprisoned, Jesperson continued to write letters, sometimes to newspapers, journalists, and true crime writers. These letters were no longer part of ongoing crimes, but reflected his continued desire for attention and notoriety, keeping his chilling legacy alive long after he was behind bars. John List. On November 9, 1971, a seemingly ordinary family home in Westfield, New Jersey held a horrifying crime behind closed doors when a man named John List killed his wife, his 3 children, and his mother.
Damn.
He carefully planned the killings over time. He shot each victim inside the house, carefully cleaned the scene, and left their bodies undiscovered until December 7, 1970.
He shot each victim, so you tell me he did one by one, and the family members didn't hear like the gunshots and stuff.
Before disappearing, he wrote several letters to why he killed his family, explaining it was to save their souls and address financial troubles, and separate notes canceling appointments and obligations to make it seem like they had simply left town. For the next 18 years, he successfully created and hid under a different identity, got remarried, found a job, and living his normal life as the case went cold, until it was featured on a television program on May 21, 1989. An age-progressed sculpture showing what List looks like decades later was shown in the public. After millions of viewers saw the broadcast, a woman recognized him as her neighbor and contacted the authorities. This tip led the police to Richmond, Virginia, where John List was arrested.
I live there. I live near there.
On June 1, 1989, he was later convicted of 5 counts of murder and sentenced to 5 consecutive life sentences, ending his long escape. If you'd like to see more stories like this, make sure to subscribe.
Dang, bro. But RIP all those victims, bro. RIP all those victims, chat. Sheesh. That's actually kind of sad. Dang, bro. Well, YouTube, that concludes our video for